I've been trying to wrap my head around the obsession the government seems to be having with the management of agricultural pests. Last Saturday, they actually spent a whole 5 minutes counting how many of these animals there are, in the vain hope that that information would somehow lead to a management plan of some kind. Well, it won't. Just think about what the main agricultural pests in Sri Lanka are. We've got macaques, wild boar, giant squirrels, peafowl, porcupines, and of course elephants, but they're another matter altogether. Of these, wild boar and porcupines are essentially nocturnal. You're simply not going to see them at 8 o'clock in the morning. Besides that, this survey methodology has clearly been designed by someone who's never actually done an animal census before. For primates like macaques, there's an excellent book out there with a whole chapter on how to count monkeys. The government's 5-minute multi-million rupee method is simply not mentioned anywhere in there. But let's assume for the sake of argument that the government survey results will be accurate, reliable, and replicable, as indeed the results of any scientific study should be. What then? Let's say they estimate that there are 13,496 macaques in the Polonnaruwa district. How does that fact inform a management decision? And for that matter, what are the available management options, the choices? Let's have a look at what we've been hearing from the government just about macaques. All the methods I've seen mentioned involve first capturing as many monkeys as possible, tens of thousands of them, and that's not an easy task. Monkeys are intelligent enough to know how to avoid traps, and they bite. There'll be lots of injured people as well as injured monkeys, and that's not counting the angry animal welfare activists. But let's say you catch thousands of monkeys. What then? One suggestion I've heard is to translocate them to someplace else. I hope the plan is not to put them in national parks, because that'll only move the problem from one place to another. Wherever these monkeys are sent, they'll simply take the problem with them. That isn't going to work. It seems a second option is to send them to an island somewhere, a kind of resort hotel for monkeys. A monkey island with tens of thousands of monkeys fed daily with a choice of monkey foods. My first question is, where is this island? Sri Lanka has no offshore islands that have fresh water, except for the already densely populated islands around Jaffna. So I suppose what they mean is islands in lakes and reservoirs. But these are densely populated as well. And in any case, macaques are very comfortable in the water. Not only are they excellent swimmers, but they can even dive, so the whole island translocation idea simply makes no sense. They'll just swim back home. The third option I hear is to catch all the monkeys and sterilize them, castrate or vasectomize the males, and subject the females to laparoscopic tubectomy. After the animal is anesthetized, the procedure takes around 5 minutes. A competent veterinary surgeon can sterilize about 40 females in a day. So you see immediately that sterilizing tens of thousands of monkeys is time-consuming and pretty expensive. Sterilizing males is a lot faster, but you need to remember that a single male can impregnate dozens of females. So even if a single male escapes capture, he's going to make loads of babies. It isn't going to make the problem go away. Worst of all, this has all been tried and tested before. The monkey menace in the vicinity of New Delhi led to 20,000 monkeys being captured and translocated to the Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary. But the monkeys soon ventured out into surrounding villages and became a nuisance there. And the niche they left after they were translocated out of their original habitat was quickly filled by the immigration of new monkeys. What did they think? The Indian state of Himachal Pradesh has sterilized more than 170,000 monkeys, but the problem didn't stop. You just can't go on perpetually capturing and chopping up monkeys. It simply doesn't work. I've got no idea who's advising the government on this. Whoever it is, they need to inform themselves of the biology and the sociology of monkeys before they start making any plans. And they haven't done the first thing that any scientist would do, which is, rather than reinvent the wheel, First, check what the experience of other countries has been. If you fail to do this, you can make huge and costly blunders, like the organic fiasco, the Sudarshana Paniya, the forced cremation of Muslim victims of COVID, and the economic disaster that resulted from the belief that money printing doesn't lead to inflation. We've done all these things in our recent past. All of them could have been avoided just by looking at examples from elsewhere in the world. If the government really wants the best advice, Sri Lanka has internationally recognized experts they could consult. With regard to sterilization, for example, there's Professor Asoka Dangola at the University of Peradeniya. With regard to the behavior and sociology of monkeys, there's Dr. Wolfgang Ditches. Here he is at Polonnaruwa with Jane Goodall. And then there's Dr. Ginny Dahler, who's among Sri Lanka's best-known primatologists. But I think I can already guess what these experts will say. The monkey problem isn't caused by monkeys. It's caused by humans. People feed monkeys. People leave exposed trash on the street, and they encroach into monkey habitats. What do you expect? Fix the humans, and the monkeys will take care of themselves.